Hey guys, it's Mike, and we're going to talk rows today. Kind of like the deadlifts. These are the deadlifts of the upper body, in that they're kind of awkward and they're easy to do incorrectly. So hopefully we can fix them now, because it's so common, just as common as improper deadlifts are. It's just as common for people to do these rows improperly. So what a row is this. You know, it's the opposite of a push. It's a compound movement. We're moving at the shoulder and the elbow. And I think most of us think of just moving at the elbow with rows. We think of just, okay, I'm getting this weight back here by bending my elbows, just like this. Okay, usually we're bent over, so it's like this. So what ends up happening if we only think of elbow or only think of bringing the weight up is it becomes just an elbow exercise. Even though I'm moving at the shoulder, the whole shoulder isn't doing the main part of the row. You know, the main reason we do a row, which is the scapular involvement, the shoulder blades. That's what we want. Is we want the shoulder blades to come back. So see if you can see a difference here. Okay, I'm going to show you a couple different ways, and maybe you can look at it in the mirror and at my back and see the difference. So here would be a proper row. Okay, I'm sticking out my chest and I'm squeezing my spine with my shoulder blades. Here is what most people do if they've never done rows, or if nobody's really ever showed them a proper way to do a row. This is most people. This. So you can see limited shoulder blade movement. You can tell there's not a big squeeze back there. And if you look at my chest, and specifically this part of my shoulder, you can tell I'm not really sticking out my chest. I'm getting my elbows back, but I'm not like puffing out my chest. And what's happening is I'm downwardly tilting my shoulder, which is the opposite of what we want. Part of why we do rows is to not have that bad posture, as well as obviously, you know, build the muscle. But building the muscle is what's going to correct that bad posture. So we don't want to be here. So let me show you again. Here's a good one. And here's a not so good one. All right, so maybe you can spot the difference. You might be able to spot the difference, but here's how you correct it if you're having trouble. Like, I can see that the one is different from the other, but I can't really put my finger on it enough to be able to fix it for myself. Here's what I would do is think of just like a deadlift. We want to keep everything flat, keep the back flat, I mean. So we want to puff out the chest, and we want to think of moving the shoulder blades first. See, I'm doing the whole shoulder blade piece before I even bring the arms up, before I bring the weights up or bend the elbows. So think of that first, and then you follow through with the elbows. Now, the flat back is important, one, for the health and safety of the back, of the low back, because we don't want to be hanging out here with weights. But look at what happens if my back's not flat. You know, if I'm here and I try to do a row, I have that downward tilt, because when my spine is curved like this, it actually blocks that range of motion for my shoulder. Once I open up the chest and flatten the back, then I'm able to bring the shoulder back and get a proper row. So bent spine here. Okay, and I really can't bring my shoulder blades back. My body's not built that way, but as soon as I puff out the chest with a straight spine, I'm able to do it properly. And it's the same thing with a single arm. If I just kind of hunch over here, and this is a lot of times how we do single arm rows with dumbbells. If I do it like this, so this kind of short split stance and just hunch over. It's that poor movement. It's that downward tilt of the shoulder, elbows just kind of coming up, really no scapular involvement, so then no lower and mid-trap involvement, no rhomboid involvement. All the muscles, the teres, all the muscles that we're wanting to hit, we're not hitting. So this versus if we open up that stance a bit, that allows us to be able to stick up the chest, stick the chest up more upright and flatten the back. Then I can get that good scapular movement, and like I said, follow through with the elbow. So again, we want here and not here. Hopefully that helps. Definitely let me know if it does not. And we'll talk soon.